A warm greetings to everyone. Agriculture Makers in Mission IBPS AFO welcomes you to this video. And in this video, we are going to see the NABARD bankable projects, in which we are going to start with model scheme on pomegranate cultivation. Actually, in this, the PDF has been downloaded officially from the NABARD website, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. And with this, we are going to see only the important points that are needed for your mains examination from this NABARD bankable projects. And come on, let's get into the video. And with this, firstly, we are going to see the introduction point. Okay. Yes. Pomegranate is one of the commercial fruit crop of India, and it is native to Iran, that is Persia, and it is a drought tolerant crop. Okay, this is what important in the introduction part. It is a commercial fruit crop. It is native to Iran, that is Iran or Persia, whatever they have given, both are correct. And it is a drought tolerant crop. Okay, though it is drought tolerant, we have to give the tree when it needs supplemental irrigation. Okay, and next to this, coming to the suitable climate that are needed for pomegranate. Keep in mind, pomegranate prefers dry climate, and for fruit development it requires prolonged hot and dry climate. Pomegranate means you have to keep in mind the dry climate, and the congenial temperature for fruit development is 38 degrees centigrade. Okay, if not, means in case of humid climate, the fruits are severely damaged by anar butterfly, that is pomegranate butterfly, and the fruit will not develop enough sweet. Okay, though it is winter hardy and drought tolerant crop, it prefers only dry climate, and 38 degrees centigrade is found to be congenial for fruit development. And in humidity, it leads to the less development of sweetness and also damage by the pomegranate butterfly. Okay, it can grow up to 1850 meter elevation and grown under semi-arid conditions also. Between 500 2 meters to 1850 mean sea level, we can grow this, and we can grow it in semi-arid conditions also. And during hot dry winter, whenever we want irrigation means also we can give. And the tree requires mainly the hot and dry climate for fruit development and ripening. Actually, in this case, pomegranate is both evergreen and deciduous. In winter area, it is deciduous. In tropical area, it is evergreen in nature. In semi temperate areas, it is partially deciduous in nature. The thing you have to keep in mind in climate includes, it prefers hot and dry climate. It requires 38 degrees Celsius for fruit development. And next to this, in humid climate, the attack of anar butterfly is more, and also the development of sweetness is less. It is also winter hardy and drought tolerant. It grows between 500 meter MSL and 1850 meters. And it it is deciduous in a temperate area, and it is evergreen in the tropical area. And with this, climate thing is over. And next, soil. It grows in a variety of soil. It can tolerate alkalinity, salinity to some extent. Even though it is hot and dry climate, it is needed for its growth. It is sensitive to soil moisture fluctuations. Soil moisture fluctuation leads to fruit cracking. It is one of the important physiological disorder in case of pomegranate farming. Okay, even though it adapts to a variety of soil means also, a well-drained sandy loam to deep loam and alluvial soils are suitable. Coming to soil, It can tolerate alkalinity or even salinity to some extent, but it grows well in a well-drained sandy loam to deep loam or alluvial soils, and it is sensitive to soil moisture fluctuations, which causes fruit cracking, which is an important physiological disorder in case of pomegranate. With this, we are going to the pomegranate varieties. Ganesh is said to be one of the important variety. It is a selection from Alandi, developed by Dr. Chima at Pune. Actually, Ganesh variety revolutionized the cultivation in Maharashtra. It has soft seeds, and usually the developed varieties are found to be soft seeds or seedless in nature while compared to other varieties. And your Alandi is a hot seeded variety from which the selection of soft seeded variety Ganesh has been made by Dr. Chima at Pune, and it revolutionized the cultivation of pomegranate in Maharashtra area. Okay, it bears heavily. And also next to this, Dholka. Dholka variety is important in case of Gujarat area, and it is a medium cropper. It is also having soft seeded and juices acidic enough in this. Then Jodhpur local, and then seedless badana, Besain seedless, and KVK1 are from Karnataka. Keep in mind, KVK1 and Besain seedless are from Karnataka, and Jalur selection are popular names in North India. In South India, paper shell. Jalur selection is in North India, and paper shell, Spanish ruby, muscat red, Velladu have shown promising yield in case of South India. Keep in mind what we have seen. Ganesh, it is in Maharashtra. Selection from Alandi. Alandi is a hot seeded one, but Ganesh is a soft seeded one. And then Dholka. Dholka is popular variety in Gujarat. It is a medium cropper. Then Jodhpur local, and then seedless badana. Then the important in this is Besain seedless and KVK1 are from Karnataka, and Jalur selection is a popular name in North India, and in South India, paper shell, Spanish ruby, muscat red, and Velladu. Okay. And next to this, there are a number of varieties. And coming to propagation, vegetative propagation, mainly cuttings. Okay, cuttings from the suckers from in spring. Okay, it should be 20 to 30 centimeter long and 6 to 12 mm in thick. What to say? It is 20 to 30 centimeter, and in case of thickness, it is 6 to 12 mm. Okay, rainy season is the best period to achieve maximum success. We have to take the cuttings from suckers in which spring from the base, and rainy season is important for this propagation. Vegetative propagation, cuttings, and usually hardwood cuttings, they say. Keep in mind, hardwood cuttings 20 to 30 meter 30 centimeter long and 6 to 12 millimeter in thick, and rainy season is the best for success. With this is propagation. And then air layering is also set. Air layering is otherwise known as Guti. Cuttings and air layering both are done in this pomegranate cultivation. And then coming to the planting time. Planting time is usually the rainy season, and also we can do it in November, December also. Planting is usually done in spring and also in July, August. In spring, it is done in subtropical area, and in July, August, it is in tropical area, because usually in tropical regions, southwest monsoon will be there during this July, so that planting in July gives a very good planting development in tropical areas. In subtropical areas, during the springtime, February, March is found to be good, and usually air layering is successful in the rainy season and also in the November, December. Okay, planting is different from taking the propagating material. You have to differentiate that. Air layering can done in rainy season, but after the air layering has been established, planting can be done in the spring in case of subtropical area and July August in case of tropical area. Okay, then the planting space. HDP is adopted in temperate regions. Okay, the spacing is usually 5 by 5. Okay, and then HDP gives 2 to 2.5 times more yield when compared to the normal planting system. Normal planting system, we will be adopting the area of 5 by 5 meter, and then farmers have adapted 2.5 into 4.5, but this much closer spacing leads to disease and pest incidents. So the usual spacing is 5 by 5 meter, and in HDP planting the spacing will be given in the upcoming letter lines. And then farmers have adapted 2.5 into 4.5 centimeter, and it's found to be a failure one because there will be a lot of disease and pest incidents. And next to this, planting method preferred in pomegranate cultivation. Okay, square planting is adapted, keep in mind. Usually there I've said now 5 by 5 centimeter, and then pit size is 60 centimeter cube. Okay, and then the pit has to be dug a month prior to planting, so that it will be kept open for the sunlight, so that solarization will be done. All the eggs and other materials that causes damage to plant will be solarized in the sun. So we have to dug the pit at least 1 month before planting. It is 5 by 5 centimeter in case of normal planting and 60 centimeter cube square system of planting. Okay, then we have to dust 50 gram of 5% BHC or carbaryl dust. Actually this is mainly for those, what to say, nematodes and all those ants and small termites that are causing damages to the plant. Okay, yes, it's termite mainly. 50 gram of 5% BHC to kill the termites that are in the pit. Then it is filled with topsoil mixed with 20 kg of FYM and 1 kg of superphosphate. Usually phosphate is applied in the basal dose itself because phosphorus is will leave the phosphate at a very low rate, so that we will be giving the phosphate as a basal dose. 20 kg of FYM along with 1 kg of superphosphate. We can use also rock phosphate, so you have to keep in mind the superphosphate. After filling the pit, watering is done to settle down the soil. Then cuttings or air layerings are planted and staked. In this planting, what we are going to read is square system, 5 by 5 centimeter, 60 centimeter cube, dug prior to 1 month, 50 gram of 5% BHC for termite control, and then in topsoil 20 kg of FYM along with 1 kg of superphosphate. And with this we are watering and then planting, staking, giving shade, etc. Next to this, coming to a big topic, that is manure and fertilizers. N 600 to 700 kg, same amount of P2O5 and K2O, it is 200 to 250 gram, but a little double the amount of nitrogen. And then 10 kg of FYM, 75 gram of ammonium sulfate in order to give sulfur to 5-year-old tree annually is adequate. Before we have seen the thing that are done before planting, but after planting at the 5 year you have to give 600 to 700 kg of nitrogen, 200 to 250 gram each of P2O5 and K2O, and then application of 10 kg of FYM. Before we have seen 20 kg of FYM, but after 5 years we can give only 10 kg of FYM and 75 gram of ammonium sulfate for 5 years old tree. Whereas application of 50 kg FYM and 3.5 kg of oil cake or 1 kg of ammonium sulfate prior to flowering is ideal for healthy growth and fruiting. Actually, on a basis, after 5 years we will be giving this 600 to 700 gram, 200 to 250 gram P2O5, K2O, 10 kg FYM and 75 gram of ammonium sulfate. But prior to planting we have to give special care. That is, we are going to apply 50 kg of FYM, 3.5 kg of oil cake, or 1 kg of sulfate of ammonia. Okay. The time of application is usually, that is before flowering. In Ambe Bahar, flowering is seen in January. So we will be applying the manure in December or January prior to flowering. And for Mrig, usually the Mrig flowering is usually at June. Then you have to keep in mind Ambi, it is in January, and then Mrig, it is in June, and in Haste, it is in October, usually October, September we can take, so that prior to this flowering, this is actually the flowering times, and prior to this flowering, we have to apply the fertilizers. That is, this 50 kg and 3.5 kg or 1 kg should be applied during December in case of Ambi, and May, June in case of Mrig, or else it is October or November in case of Haste Bahar. Okay, the next to this, the basal dose of farmyard manure at 25 to 40 quarts per load, besides the recommended dose of NP and K, should be applied to the non-bearing trees in 3 split doses. Okay, actually we have seen we have to apply this amount of fertilizers to the flowering tree, and for non-bearing tree we have to before 5 years it will be non-bearing, that is, it will be in the gestation period. During that time you have to apply 20 loads, 25 to 40 loads of FYM, and then 3 split doses coinciding with the flushes of January, June and September. That is the vegetative flushes. We have to give nitrogen, that is NPK, in 3 split doses. Fruiting should be encouraged from 4th year onwards. From 4th year onwards only you have to allow flowering. Before that you have to remove all those flowering buds. Nitrogen fertilizer is applied in 2 split doses starting at the time of first irrigation after the Bahar treatment, and next at 3 weeks interval. Okay, actually for the flowering trees we will be giving fertilizer before flowering. Nitrogen fertilizer will be applied in 2 split doses starting at the time of first irrigation after the Bahar treatment, and next at 3 weeks interval. Okay, whereas full dose of NPK should be applied at one time. This should be applied in a shallow circular trench, not beyond the depth of 8 to 10 centimeter. If it goes beyond means then there is no use of this fertilizer application. I can teach it to you again. 600 to 700, 200 to 250 each of NP and K, and then 10 kg of FIM, 75 gram of ammonium sulfate after 5 years. Okay, that means after it comes to bearing. That includes before flowering we will be applying the fertilizer. That is, the timing will be for Mrig it is May, and Ambe it is December or January, for Haste it is October, November, and we have to give the NPK in 3 split doses along with the 25 quarts of farmyard manure for those non-bearing trees, that too with the flushes, vegetative flushes. And fruit should be encouraged from 4th year onwards, and N should be applied in 2 split doses after the first irrigation after Bahar treatment, and next at the 3 weeks interval. And P and K both should be applied at one time at the basal dose because they are slow release fertilizers. Okay, and it should be applied in a shallow trench. I think you have all understand. Then next to this, training institutes that are and source of planting material for pomegranate. I think this is not much important, and the important thing which you have to note down here is it is the Indo-Israel's Center of Excellence for pomegranate is in Bassi, Jaipur. Keep in mind, it is important. Other and all not that much. Coming to the pest and disease area, in pomegranate farming, pomegranate butterfly, it It is the anar butterfly and the bark-eating caterpillar, that is Inderbella tetranis. Inderbella species, you can keep in mind, or the common pest. And these fruits are susceptible to fruit fly, which needs to be controlled from the flowering stage itself. Flowering to button stage, you have to control the fruit fly. At this stage, you have to spray carbaryl or endosulfan at 10 days interval alternatively. Must be given. Fruit spot and fruit rot, spot and rot are both caused by fungal disease, for which a proper regular spraying are made. What we have to keep in mind in this means, pest it is anar butterfly and then bark-eating caterpillar. For fruit fly, we have to control at the flowering to button stage. We have to spray carbaryl at 0.2% or endosulfan at 0.05%. And then fruit spot and fruit rot are said to be fungal diseases that are common in this. And in case of physiological disorder, fruit cracking is the most important one. Initially itself I have said that moisture deficiency, that is moisture stress, leads to this fruit cracking. And other factors which includes is boron deficiency, okay, and then moisture imbalances, variations in soil moisture and humidity. Thus I have already said that humidity leads to this kind of fruit cracking, etc. Prolonged drought causes hardening of peel, and if this is followed by heavy irrigation, means sudden heavy irrigation after a long dry spell, it leads to the peel cracking, and the pulp will be reduced in sweetness. Okay, fruit cracking is due to boron deficiency, also moisture stress, also due to the humid climate. Okay, prolonged drought, keep in mind, prolonged drought causes hardening of peel, and if it is hardening of peel and if it is followed by a heavy irrigation or downpour, means then the pulp grows and the peel cracks. Okay, then maintaining soil moisture and not allowing wide variation, and you have to be regularize the irrigation so that there will not any moisture stress or prolonged drought spell, everything. Cultivation of tolerant varieties, early harvesting and not allowing the fruits to crack, and spray of calcium hydroxide and on leaves and on fruit set. This is one of the important chemical you have to keep in mind, calcium hydroxide. Okay, and then irrigation may be given depending on soil and climate. First irrigation is provided in case of Mrig Bahar in the middle of May, followed by regular irrigation. Actually, Bahar treatment is said to be very important in case of pomegranate. Fertilizer application, irrigation, everything will be coordinated based on this Bahar treatment. Check basin irrigation is followed usually. Okay, water requirement through drip irrigation is 20 centimeter, and it saves 44% on irrigation. Okay, and if sugarcane mulch is used, 64% of irrigation is saved, said to be, and also helps to increase the yield by 30 to 35%. Irrigation should be given based on the Bahar treatment. Middle of May it is given in case of Mrig Bahar, and in summer you have to give weekly irrigation, and the check basin system of irrigation is followed, and the average annual water requirement through drip irrigation is 20 centimeter, and it helps to save the irrigation 44%. If along with sugarcane mulch is used, means we can save the irrigation up to 64%, and it also helps to increase the yield by 30 to 35%. And I think we have run a very long way, so that we can stop here and continue the next training, pruning and everything in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned, we will upload the continuation of this video very shortly, and thank you for all your cooperation.